Okay, hello everybody. It's whatever Wednesday. I'm a little bit late today, but I'm gonna paint you something really cool. Terry Price wanted me to paint a wolf, and she found one that's half a wolf. So half a wolf, we're gonna make this a whole wolf. You're only gonna need today blue, black, and white. So those will be your colors. I'm not quite sure which brushes you'll use. I have three, and they're not even the right brushes. Do I have an angle brush over there? Well, let's say I'm only going to use this one and this one then today because that's what I got with me. So that's what I'm going to use. All right. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm out in my trailer today. You guys get a little view of my little tiny trailer. Look at this thing. Isn't it cute? Anyway, a little slow so you don't get dizzy. We are out in the trailer today, and I am going to be painting. I have a couple of people supposed to be coming by, so we may have a couple of drop-ins. This is as close as I can. And I may have to walk out in the middle of this, which would be crazy. All right, so let's... Oh, I'm going to use the sponge, I think. I think this should have sort of a grayish background, just so that the white parts will show up, I think. So light gray. I'm going to use my sponge. I don't even have a table out here right now to work on. So I've got my sponge, put it in the water, wring it out. I'm going to get my canvas a little bit, just a little bit damp. Also had requests for hot air balloons. Hot air balloons today. So a little bit of black, mix it in with the white. I'm just going to mix it right in there. Take a little bit more. I want to be able to see that. So I'm just using the sponge and I'm just mixing it up right there. Right onto my sponge. Cover this whole thing up. So I've never painted a wolf or a dog, really. Just a puppy. I painted one puppy. So, I don't think I have. Maybe I did. I painted so many paintings, I can't even remember what all I painted until someone shows me, remember when you painted this? I'm like, oh yeah. Dude. There you go. Nice little smooth gray background. I guess I should dry that. I do have the blow dryer out here. Let's hope I don't blow something. Good. So I'm not going to be camping this year because this thing, I'm not quite sure if I've beat my leak yet. So I'm going to use it as a little art studio. I got my TV in here and I hang out and I play Netflix on it. So it's like having a playhouse. Okay, so anyways, I've lost my picture of the wolf. So got to keep bringing it. I wish I could just keep it so it stays on here, but it doesn't. Okay. So put that there. You guys can sort of see it. I'm going to start off with black. And I'm going to figure out where do I want the nose. So maybe here. You guys will know later at the end of this whether I should have moved it up or down. So the nose is kind of round-ish. Can all be adjusted. Maybe it has a little dip down at the bottom, but it's basically a little flat on the top, rounded on the sides a bit. You see that? And this side came like, has a mark like that. It's a little wider there. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. hopefully it all will work out. Okay. We'll have to give it a little something there. This one doesn't have that, but it's because it's just the side. So, and then he had an eyeball, which is like a rainbow, but sideways. And it came up here. So if you're coming up from the nose, you're not going to go straight up the nose. You're going to come over a little bit. And I'm going to say here, down like that. Might be too drastic, but we'll see. And then it comes down a bit, and then a little drop at the end of that. Okay, try this side as well. Is that too close? I don't know. I don't know. And then the ears are up out here. And this side's a little rounder. Well, it's starting to look like a dog. It's starting to. Tuck hair, and then the other one will be here. I'm just going to tilt that one a little bit. They are kind of round on the edge from what I see. So is that a pretty good dog-shaped face? I think so. So his hairline comes, it's not puffed out, so it's kind of wispy. So I'm just going to gradually do it this way underneath his ear there. So I'm going to get the outline of this dog. It's a little bit of a angle this way to out to here, and then it starts to taper in a bit. And we're going to make this a little wispier. So his face is going long in that way. I don't have anything on the other side to compare to. So, and then he had wisps of hair that came this way here. I hope the shape is looking good for you guys. It doesn't look, it looks pretty not great right now, but don't worry about it. So he's got another shapes inside of here. We can lengthen that if we need to. He's got some hair going on in his ear. So this one's going to, that's going to come. I'm just going to do exactly what's on the other side. A bit out. Don't want to go too far. Don't want to go too far. Alrighty. Should it be bigger? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I can make it bigger. I'm just gonna make his ears bigger, I think. I'm just sort of tapping around with it, my brush. Doesn't matter if it's neat or not, because we want this to be like hair. So it's okay to have the little swoopies off to the side. I'm gonna bring this a little closer out, go farther. In around his eye. The hair kind of goes around and you're making ticks like this. Oh boy, you guys. This one's freaking me out a little. So kind of gone around the eye a little bit. And the hair up here is going up, comes down across his nose like this on both sides. Right down the center of the nose. We're going to put more, but I'm just getting a general idea just to shape out his face. Not sure if I'm happy with that right there. So what I'm going to do, get some water on my brush. Now I'm going to erase, because I can do this. Maybe I'll take the bigger brush. Just take some water on there and damp most of it off. I'm just going to, because I'm unsure yet about this mouth. Getting most of it off. Because our background is gray, look, I can practically I don't know if I have. I'm sitting on this cushion, guys, and my butt's getting wet. So I'm hoping it's just my cushion because I washed them. I'm hoping my cushions are just wet. I feel like I just wet my pants. No, it didn't. So I'm going to take a little bit of that gray that I first started with and just throw a little more on here. Just so that the background. Well, see, it was the mouth was making it look off. So I think that my cushion is just wet. Darn. Darn, 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 darn. Blow dry. I'm having a heck of an issue trying to get the leak from this trailer pinpointed. Sure doesn't feel good sitting on this wetness, though. Okay. Well, deserve the water. It's got to dry out at some point. Okay, get rid of that big brush. I'm not using that big brush yet. Back to my black. And I've got to figure it out. So he's got his eye kind of down like this. And they kind of go around like spokes, you know, so that we're kind of, see the shape in here? That's what we're trying to keep. And it just kind of, the hairs just kind of go around with you. And then it's got, here it's got a line of hair that comes in and sort of shapes his cheekbone area. See how that's making it come in? We're going to do that on the other side too. So the lines come in here, shaping his cheekbone. So now his face is coming pointed out towards you a little bit. So same on this side, we have to take the hairs and sort of bring them around. A little longer here and smaller in this area. That's looking more like a wolf. More like a wolf. I'm going to figure out his nose now. Is that really a nose for the wolf? Or is it a little more pointy? Like that? Or is it rounder? I don't think it's really round. Don't worry about that part up there. I can get rid of that too. Water. This is just a damp, clean brush. Wiping it off on my sponge. Oh yeah, that looks better. Hey? A little straighter. And we'll just make that hair. Alright, now for the mouth. Whew. Let's do all the rest of the hair first. I'm going to go back to the mouth at the very end. So we've got hairs that come off of him here. So that was what that triangle was. And I swoosh in here. And then there's some ones that swoop. See how they're longer and swoopier here? That's his neck. So same to the other side. Swooped a little bit here, a little bit longer ones here. I'm figuring this out as I go, and it's freaking me out, but it's really starting to look like the wolf. So a little bit of hair up in here. I'll start adding some blue in a bit. So I'm going to fix this ear thing. So always lots of swoopy lines in there, so it all looks like hair. Light touch, don't push hard or it gets, yeah, it's going to get like really thick lines. So some hairs up across here, and then it gets a little thicker, and then those hairs start to come into the face. Series of swoopy lines. I'm just doing a light touch, got a little bit of fluid paint here. But you can see how when you start adding a little more, it really starts to start looking like your wolf. Down the center of his nose a little bit. I'm going to go down the center more on this side. All just little lines. Good, it's starting to look like a wolf. Amazing. See how that's coming up into the eye here? Up into the eye, but not all the way. Leave a little space at the neck. I mean at the nose. The neck. At the neck. You can also add more white too. So I'm just going to highlight a few more of these. I think that's all going into there. And then just go ahead and do the opposite side, the same thing. Make sure there's some little wispy pieces of hair. You don't want straight lines here because he's furry and he's wild, so nothing's going to be neat and manicured on this guy. So basically just do exactly what you did on that side over here. That's cute. Yeah. It's not really how you ever describe a wolf as cute, but definitely messy. So, got his cheeky things going on here, but he also, let's give him some more hairs are coming down, and it's kind of coming into this kind of a diamond shape here. And then on the other side, it's going to be the same thing, but the hairs are going to be going out. It's just that angle that brings it all down to that point. So that'll be his neck. And this just mimics this a bit. His jawline. Now back to that now. Oh wait, we haven't gone around this eye here. There's not enough hair on this eye. Look how it's kind of going around a cheekbone there. Happy accident. I like that. And up into there. What do you think? I hope you like that. Looks like it's wolf. Wolf. Just wispy, messy little hairs here. I'm going to throw some other colors in there pretty soon. As soon as I feel confident getting his mouth going here. Around her. I don't want him to look like he's smiling, but kind of the way it looks in his picture. It's rounded a little more. You know the other side has to be the same. I'm not going to bother with that little bit under there. Maybe we'll just throw a few hairs in here. The other picture doesn't have it, but there we go. That's it. All right, so with my blue, I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to take a bit over here, blue with a little bit of black because I don't like that blue. And then some white, which I have way too much of. So I'm getting a light blue, a really nice light blue color, but it's not sky blue because I added the black, right? It's a beautiful blue. And we're going to give this thing some, put some water in here. My water jar is really cold. Okay, I'll put it, where can I put it? Right there, it's a 30. I put some water in a dish, in one of my little holes. I'm just taking water, putting in one of my little divots there. So there we go. I'll take some of that paint so I just can thin it out a little bit. I'm going to start by putting some of that in his eye, just to start with. And maybe the eyes are going to be darker. I don't know. I'm going to start with it there. And I'm going to adjust my blacks and stuff like that. Let's throw some blues, just going to randomly throw ticks in. So just taking a little bit right above his eyes. So with this one here, I'm going to change the path of this so it's coming down across the side of his nose. Just a little bit. And it comes down the side of his nose a bit. That's bringing it all pointed into. Can you see how it's made it all pointed down? So do the same on this side. Point it down to the side of the nose. It's okay if it picks up a little bit of the black. It doesn't need to be solid. They're just lines. And we can take some of that out too with white. But for now, I'm liking that. A little bit coming through his ears here. Wispy lines. Some in through this part. A few in these hairs. I'm gonna have to. It's picking up the black because it's wet. And here. Yeah. You guys are gonna do a lot of pausing in this one. Just a little under his nose. I'm gonna have to do a little under that one. Maybe under here a bit. Nothing perfect. You guys see how messy that is? And I can see that I'm going to adjust some of my hairs too because they're just not quite right. So don't feel like it's not perfect. It's not done. Okay. Whatever you do on one side, do on the other. That's kind of the rule with this one. my do as I go, fake it, mirror image of the other side. You can have some just random blue ones down there if you want to. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to have some darker blue. So I'm going to take a little bit more blue, put it into this first pile. So it's still got the blue, the white, and the black in there, but it's not the primary blue. So I really didn't like that primary blue. I'm going to go more into his eyes with that. I want those to be a bit darker. Leave some light in there. Nice. Okay, where else? Let's put a little darker blue in up in here. Not that it's going to show. Maybe a little more black. A little more black in that blue. Make it a deeper blue. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I don't really know where I want to stick it. I'm going darker in here. So I want to change the shape of his eyes just a little bit because they're not quite right. Some darker blue coming down to his nose, touching the nose. Bringing these cheekbones up just a bit because this color that I'm using right now is actually shaping it a bit. But super messy, guys. Just like I'm throwing little random ticks all over. Okay, so what I'm seeing in this eye, I'm going to go back to my black. Wash this off a bit. I'm going to go back to my black because I'm going to put more around his eyes. And then I'm going to throw some white stuff in later. Back to black. Back to black. Making his eyes. So now I'm going to go over top of the eyes that were there and make those more like it's more like a boomerang right here, coming down around a little bit and then sharply going up, and then get that all in black. Yeah, so we get the boomerang there, and then it comes around and then goes up again on an angle to that part. That comes down. So go back over here, same thing. So you're going to start up here, make it thicker, and then boomerang down. The bottom's going to come around. We're all circulating that nice little eyeball that you drew. And then it's going to come back up and meet it. Wolf eyes, wolf eyes. Okay, I'm going to keep that a little bit thinner and bring this hair just a little closer. Changing the shape again. Comes up right here. Nice. That feels better. That feels better as a wolf eye. Let's bring those hairs right down into the face so that's like here. See that part there? That kind of gives him, so I'm going to go up on that angle there too. So start right here beside it and start going up so that it matches over here. And then I think that should be more that way. I don't know. Then start giving it more coming off of here, off the side. Oh, let the hairs go over the edge. And in, it goes down a little. Just going to give a few more black ones over top of all this blue that we did, just to shape that nose. Let's make that a little darker too. Now that I like it, there you go. So just go back over your black again, your little hairs. Sharpen this up a bit. Loving it. I'm loving it. Wisp your hairs out. It's a beautiful hairy guy. Okay, I'm a little more confident now. So it doesn't start out looking real great, guys. So don't feel distressed when you're going through this and he doesn't look perfect. So it took me a while to get there. So just keep tapping around with hairs. Oh, I love them. I like this eye better than that eye. Let's bring these hairs down. All right, I'm going to wash that off and I'm going to use some white paint because there's no white on this guy. So we're going to lighten them up a little bit. All the black and blue off that brush. And I'm just going to start putting some white in here. Put it in like hairs though, guys. Don't just like throw white for the sake of throwing white in there. Always make it look like hairs. So going into the empty spots that are just gray like the background. And then when you get there, you can start pulling them through some of those black lines. And you can also change the shape too if you don't really like it. You can go ahead and bring it down like this, like hairs, and that you can widen open that eye. We can make this eyeball bigger if you want. I lost my picture. Because I was talking and painting, I forgot. Yeah. So you can bring some more white down here like this. And that changes that shape of that eye. But do it in like strokes for hair. Right? So everything is like a white hair stroke. I think that that's too much there. Let's just pick up some black, get rid of it. Just wipe it off and start over. There we go. Change the shape of that. Fine tuning. There we are, fine tuning now with white. Love it. Look how he's coming to life. All down in here you're going to have strokes for hair because this is all hair. So everything's going to be a light stroke. A little bit of paint, touch really lightly. Don't push hard on your brush or you're going to end up with really big. Really big fat hairs when you don't want big fat hairs. Some little strokes, some longer strokes. It's looking pretty, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Kind of mixing it a little bit with my black in here, and it's looking like it turns a little gray, which is perfectly cool. I kind of like this one. I never know if I'm going to like something until I paint it. I do an orca, and it was not my color palette. And my son said, "You got to paint that one." So I did, and it turned out to be one of my favorite paintings. This is looking better and better and better and better and better all the time. So it was pretty solid. See how solid looking it is in here? You threw a few white streaks inside of there that changes the whole look. But you can see here how it comes down and then it leaves that, remember I said the jawline? So it's bringing his face in to a point just by how you shape that line right there. So it's wide and it comes in. Certainly love it. Yeah. Okay, I gotta be honest with you guys. I did not think I would be able to do this one. I didn't. Seriously didn't. I'm gonna put a little white highlight just on the top of his nose here. So, anyway, be brave, try it. Always try new things. Here's that quote, always try something, one scary thing every day, or one new thing every day, if you can, during COVID. Anyways, I certainly like it. Thank you, Terry, for the suggestion. I hope yours turn out okay. It's a lot of finessing, but you can change stuff with paint. And if you can get this, I'll be so proud of you. And I think you can. If you have to use chalk to do the original shapes, just use some chalk. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Down at the bottom here, I think I'm just going to try to start bringing it in and leave it longer. Coming down here and just use your imagination. What happens to the rest of his body, because I'm just not that good. To be honest, I'm not that good. So if you're not liking the roundness of his mouth, so I'm kind of just touching it with paint just to see if I can change the look there. So he doesn't look so happy, because I don't think wolves are supposed to be that friendly. Ooh, that's better. Took away some of that. dig it. A little bit of black I got stuck on my brush, though. You can do that. Throw some more black hairs in now. If you've gone too white, just throw in some black. You're painting your wolf hairs. Oh, I love it. I love it. So his eyes are not quite right. I don't know what to do with those eyes. I'm going to go back in with my dark bluey color. Is that what I used? I think that's what I used. Just going to make those eyeballs slightly rounder, slightly bigger. Oh, looks good. This one's not looking quite right. So you can make them bigger, so you got them in the right spot in his eyes, and then just black over what's not supposed to be there. Back into my black here. That one comes up, and I like that. So this one should come up a bit, cross over, gives it that angrier look. And I like this. It's very narrow here. And my glasses on, that doesn't help. Oh, so it's a whole different animal when I take my glasses off. Like that comes down and around. That eyeballs too big. And comes down and then back up. So I'm going to have to put a bit more white there. And I do believe I have company here. So a little more white on the top. Bringing that down just slightly. And some white coming in there. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I'm outside. I'm out here.
Oh, I never knew
Haha. Everybody, Audrey's coming.
He's so cute.
I'm just painting a wolf. What do you think?
Awesome.
Like it?
What are you doing that one?
I'm doing it online on that Patreon.
Cool.
So I'm going to splatter some other color on the outside and sign it's done. Unless you want it. And I'll just give it to you. But you have
I
to
just
hang...
want it and you just give it to
Okay,
me.
just hang around here for a second. Just hang around for a second. I'm just about done.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Do you want splatters on it? Or should I just leave
know.
it like that?
I think you should just leave it like that. Uh-oh, who's coming?
She's coming to pick up some frames. It's a whole...
Or are those the ones you had out there on the road?
And she saw one and she wanted one, so...
you went and took it back for her.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
So there you go, Patreoners, just like that. Painting cell. Say hi, Audrey. Hi! Audrey's the new owner of a wolf. There you go, Audrey.
Thank you. Oh, that is beautiful.
And we'll shut that up.